The Tape Never Lies Network.
The tape never lies. Tape never lies.
Starts now.
The tape never lies.
Draft Dr. Phil and the Smartest Man.
Keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
So chase greatness and start understanding that he's gonna make everybody better.
The tape never lies.
I don't want to see your tape breakdowns if you cannot show me things that are negative about a guy that's on your current team.
Hashtag chase greatness. Hashtag take that.
Keep it 100.
Because I'll make this one more time clear. Caden Whitlow, cut it.
Keeping it 100.
He is the best quarterback I have ever scouted on tape.
The Chicago Bears select.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man in Dr. Phil. Break it down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keep it in 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the fake and anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're moused up like the true and now and latest. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane.
Give me some fucking names. We have two fucking games.
Fuck a play or a captain, all of the upstairs. The tape never lies, the truth you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with argument and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like trip sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the Smartest
Keeping it
Man.
100.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the Smartest
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Down there. I don't know if that right foot actually touched the ground.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, didn't know. Wasn't paying attention, yo.
Got you back, big guy.
I was reading the chat.
Yo.
Oh, Thursday.
We're yo free. No Claudio. No
No
Shario.
Cheerio. No Bullets-o.
We should have recruited a listener
Should
to
have had a fan.
open it. Who could do
Ooh.
it? Who could do it? I don't know. Michael Kinder said that was worse than Claudio.
I wasn't even ready. I wasn't prepared.
I was going to add you early. Then I'm like, oh, this is the perfect time. He's not looking. So we'll add him. Little
Yeah,
bit
we're
different
very-
night tonight. Thursday. Keeping it 100.
Happy New Year, Shane.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to all the fans.
Yeah.
Could have had bullets. Bullet-o.
New Year, same old Bears.
We have, first of all, shout out to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah.
Going,
Yeah, I guess
delaying the game, the delay.
I guess it's over now, right? They win the national title tonight, according to Bullets.
Oh, jeez.
It's over.
Listen, they deserve some love tonight.
Well, of course.
Went in
They've
there
been
and handled business.
over 36. Yeah,
Hey, that gives the Bears hope.
it does.
It gives the Bears hope, right?
It does.
If Notre Dame can do it,
They ain't done shit yet.
somehow the Bears could do it.
Win a title. That's what I said. Win a title. It's not about playoff. wins win a title. Because if you talk to a Notre Dame fan, they're the fucking Patriots every year. Go win a title. SEC sucks, right?
Prove me wrong.
Then
Prove me wrong.
Robert Nash is out here crying. SEC sucks. We beat Georgia. They're back
He's
up.
got one night to celebrate, Shane. He's
I
lived
just-
through a lot of misery.
Oh, I get it. I'm just saying. I get sick of Notre Dame
Man Teo getting blown out of the
overrating their
fucking
team every fucking year. They have a good team this year. Better than Alabama, that's for goddamn sure.
All I do is hate the gun runs. There's too many. Oh my god! And keep Price in.
That's
They
That's
kept taking
football, man.
Price out.
you can't watch a football game anywhere where it's not a prominent part of the.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! All I would do is destroy every one of these teams as a coach. Kirby Smart would be crying against me. I'd be running. They ran a couple of the plays, but they run it out of fucking pistol. It's like, can this dude take it? Like, get under center. Get a fucking. I don't
Yeah.
care. Go 2 tight ends. Get to your back. I was getting nervous with number 20. He doesn't do it for me in those situations. You know, Zorich is happy.
Yeah, my cousin is not. He was down there and he got
He missed the game.
screwed over. Yeah, with everything that
Was
was
he able to
going on.
watch it on the plane?
I haven't talked to him.
Oh,
I'm sure he's very excited.
Well,
He's very excited.
someone is excited in the background over there. In
Yeah,
the
that's what I
green-
said. These guys are
green
acting like they
room.
won a national fucking title. Like the
Listen,
Cubs, it's like the Cubs signed Seiya Suzuki. They thought they got Otani.
they spanked Cordy Cronin's Indiana Hoosiers,
Yeah,
right? Then they go out. They handle business tonight against
did.
Georgia.
they're a good team. Georgia and their backup quarterback. I just love that they beat Kirby Smart more than anything. That's what I'm truly at. I can't fucking stand Kirby Smart. Hate everything about him.
Kirby
Hate everything about him.
Kirby was fired up. He was right about the spot. I don't know what he was arguing about at the end of one.
Dude, he argues everything. Everything Kirby does.
That's my kind of coach. Get
Yeah,
him
but-
over here.
There's a certain point where it's just dumb.
No, he argues dumb shit.
Yeah.
Did yesterday the Texas Arizona State game? How was that not a headshot?
Yeah, it clearly was.
Right? Oh my god! I was like, I could not believe they came to the review, the decision of the replay, and said it wasn't.
You're in the forum, Julian.
Julian,
I mean,
what's
Former-
up, Julian, in the forum?
former San Francisco 49er Julian Peterson here. in the
Let's think of
Chicago
how
Bears.
many Julians I can remember. Julian Love.
Yeah.
Julian
Julian Marino from Wallingford, Connecticut.
Love. That's his cousin.
Yeah.
Julian Jackson. I
Uh,
can't think of any more Julians.
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's some.
Was there ever a Julian on the Bears?
Probably. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what he means though. Join our
Happy
forum.
New Year.
Yeah.
I think that's what he meant. How do I get in? How do I do it? So we're gonna see. Now it's down to the final four.
Yep.
Penn State versus Notre Dame, January 9th.
We need to have an Ivan Vargas, Christopher Sandlin watch party.
Oh yes. I love it.
That would actually be dope.
Sandlin versus Vargas.
Yeah.
Sounds like the ring. The
Yeah.
UFC ring.
Yeah.
Can we make that happen?
No holds barred.
There he is. These guys, Lucky Green. Woo!
Woo! All right. I just wanted to get that out. Shane, fuck you for everything you said before.
It's all
but,
true,
yeah,
bro.
But hey, we beat a team that was, I mean, look, I understand they were down their quarterback, but that kid was playing his ass off. You got to give him credit for being, a young kid. Was he a freshman, right?
Sophomore.
Okay, sophomore. But he's the heir apparent there. Clearly, it's
not the way that works anymore. He'll be in the fucking transfer portal by next week.
Maybe.
USC's quarterback.
But
maybe Notre Dame's quarterback next year, right?
Yeah, I guess. But nonetheless, I was fucking happy.
You have to be happy, Ivan. Good.
I was happy that this happened.
You have some positives in this football season.
Because it's Georgia, because the way Marcus Freeman came out, and fucking Marcus Freeman, and I know that the job isn't done, but Marcus Freeman, regardless, deserves a ton of credit for how he has this team playing. Like,
what a great job coaching.
Yeah, after a loss to a team that shouldn't be on your level, I truly believe that. A bad loss, and you were able to rally your team and beat teams like that. I didn't think they were going to win this game. I was nervous. I texted you guys. I was very nervous about this game, and they came out there and they kicked ass. That defense is the real fucking deal.
It is, and Marcus Freeman,
36 years, Robert. Got to get it right, bro.
Marcus Freeman goes out there. I loved in the fourth and short.
Oh, that was
runs the special teams off.
You got to throw them all the roses in the world there. 100%.
That's coaching right there, man.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to bitch slap Greg McElroy when I was texting with my coach. I go, that was not a penalty on that fourth down conversion with the motion. I go, the tight end got set. And now he can go whenever he wants.
The way that his feet got set, like he switched his feet. No, right. Hear me out.
The bounce is what killed him.
It was a terrible call.
Right, I agree with you, Phil.
He could have did backflips.
The way that he switched his feet, he gave enough of a bounce that I think this guy thought that he went forward when he didn't. He didn't go forward, but that's footwork. You got to figure that out because he went ahead and switched his feet because he was awkward in his positioning. So, I mean, it is what it is. They won the game. I'm happy. It's a shit call, though. I'm on your side.
Shit call. I saw it right away. I go, what? Because I saw the tight end go down. Now this guy could do whatever the fuck he wants. And I'm used to watching tight ends go down with Cole Kmet falling down. So we need some tight ends, man. That's got to be in our draft mob coverage.
Yeah, and I mean, they're not moving off of Cole Kmet.
No, he's here. Yeah. I'm saying we need like 3 more.
Yeah.
3. I'm pissed that Carl. Do we even have a guy on the practice squad right now? I meant to look at that.
I can.
Carlson's on IR.
Yeah, he got hurt and was
I was excited about this guy, Carlson from Princeton.
That was the dude that I sat with his high school coach at the Bills game. So Joel Wilson from Central Michigan.
Joel Wilson.
Yep.
Never heard of Joel Wilson. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Is he a mutter, Ivan?
He was with Green Bay.
Oh, he's with Green Bay.
Yep.
Now's the time. Like, seriously, now's the time. I know we talked about this on our patron show. We broke down the tape. Now's the time where you got to see some Tyler Scott pushing some of these other players on the team. I like that you're mixing Colin in, but you got to see Tyler Scott run some deep routes where these guys are just jogging.
I was actually surprised.
That's the funny thing about it. Go ahead.
They were talking to Tom Thayer about, moves to be made in 2025, and they brought up Keenan Allen, and Tom Thayer isn't the guy that you.
I heard that.
blanket statements like that. I was kind of surprised there went where he did and said, no, I don't think you can bring him back. I think that the money that Keenan will want will be better allocated in other ways.
Well, you have 80 fucking million. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I have not been able to listen to any Chicago radio. I think it's pathetic that a bunch of analysts are looking at pointing fingers and not putting him in the right places. I think it's pathetic, to be perfectly honest. Where
it is, Pedro, TTNL Network. We're up. We're live.
We're live on YouTube.
Look at
Otherwise,
Seymour's watching it there. Guy Finley's watching it there. Hendricks.
Seymour
watching.
Phil, can you hear me? This is your dad speaking. Can you hear me?
I can hear you on YouTube too, Dad.
Tell him, Coach.
I'm in space.
Oh my God.
I'm in space.
I think Pedro's in a different space than YouTube. But yeah, I have a lot to say. Tonight's going to be a condensed version of Keepin' It 100, a special after New Year's, the new year. Obviously coming on after Notre Dame beating Georgia in a great way. They dominated the line of scrimmage. They made a lot of plays defensively. There's a lot of NFL players that we're able to see out there playing on both sides of the football.
How about
on
Riley
both
Leonard?
teams.
Riley Leonard, the balls.
Gotta give Riley probably not going to be an NFL passer, but you gotta love
the CFL. He can play in the CFL with Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, that's that was a shocker today. That was a shocker that he decided.
Oh,
to do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, he
wants
older.
to get out of there.
He's older anyway, and you gotta. I was very happy. Listen. It takes a lot.
Nation was happy.
It takes me a lot to actually despise a player on my favorite college football team. And Ivan has heard me all fucking season long. They were boat racing Georgia, and I'm like, dude, we have Milroe. Just wait.
He did.
I fucking hate Milroe.
Yeah, not gonna make it either. He's got some tools though, but
he is a tool.
I don't know where he's going, but as Shane is saying, Scatterbo, yep. I don't know where he'll go in the draft. He's not going to test well, but you can't put a measure. And this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight.
He's a heart player, but he's also
we don't have enough of those.
Oh no, I totally get it. But
I don't know where they are on a roster.
You can draft this kid in the second round or something like that.
No, I don't know where.
No.
I can make a case that he could be a second round pick. I can. I could do that because those are the type of guys that are going to move the chains. I need those guys. We don't have that. But again, I don't have the coach, so I don't know who that is. Second round, if you really think that he embraces the body of your culture that you're trying to build offensively, because that's what you need. But yeah, I would give him a third round grade based on what I've watched of him, and that's been mostly highlights, and that was throughout. And then 4 games, I've watched 4 of his games on YouTube TV. And the kid he reminds me of Jordan Howard with better hands and better instincts.
Yeah, he's got a lot better hands. He's much more. I mean, that play down the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jordan Howard had a couple wheel routes that they hit him on, that they actually missed him on over the years. But yeah,
and everyone knows how I felt about Jordan Howard. Yeah. This guy's a tackle breaker.
There wouldn't have been any double doink if Jordan Howard.
There would never have been double doink.
Tackle. Horrible.
He should have went back to Howard again.
He would have went 60 on that. There's nobody there. Nobody home.
That was the worst.
Way to bring that up, Shane. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well, you're living in good energy. You're Notre Dame won.
I'm good. But, you know, Shane keeps bringing up these Bears fucking failures. And it's like,
Well, that's all
what else do we have?
Here comes the cloud.
What else do we have? I mean,
that's all we got, man.
We were all
right now
in the Notre Dame game, and we brought up Mitch running out of bounds on 4th down in a fucking playoff game.
Yeah.
And there was Bears fans. I could probably pull the receipts on that. Bears fans saying, well, good for him. I would do it too, the way that the Bears have treated him. You're in a fucking playoff game. I would have beat the kid.
85% are Fields fanatics, probably. I would put a guess on that. The fucking receipts being pulled on that. But right when Riley Leonard took to the air, I thought of Mitch Trubisky going out of bounds against the Saints on 4th down. And there's the difference. Those are the Warriors that go beyond. And I'll bring this right into Chicago Bears now by saying this. You know, me and Shane broke down the tape yesterday. You know, Shane came in a little later. And here's a narrative. The Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams takes sacks. So I just showed the tape and I showed, okay, 2 of those sacks I can put on a quarterback out of the 7. This offensive line is coached pathetic. Not one local media outlet has taken any shot at the offensive line coach, not once. I've been waiting to hear it. I think there might be somebody on 670, someone told me, took a shot at Chris Morgan, but none of them. And the pathetic thing is, Shane said this well before anybody else with Ryan Poles signing and drafting offensive linemen that remind him of himself. Yeah, well, that is pathetic when you watch it on tape because they're soft. The 14-yard sack that Caleb took is completely on the offensive line. Completely on the offensive line. And we're chastising this kid.
But Phil, he said it was on him. He's got to be better. He said it himself.
Well, that's what good leaders do.
Right.
That's what good leaders do. Good players take onus of the things. But when we broke down that tape and Larry Borum has rules, they slide protection to the right with 2 coming to his side. Your job and responsibility is to take the quickest to the quarterback. That would have been the linebacker blitzing, but he turned out and then saw the backer blitz, came and just pushed and tried to cover both and block nobody. So the quarterback, if you took one, is going to get out of that like he does. And people are quick to put it on Caleb. It's pathetic. Mind you, on top of that, and I'll challenge anybody, go look at the routes on that play. You had just gotten a 1st down. You went empty. That's pathetic by the offensive coordinator, who is Thomas Brown, whatever. Watch where the routes go. 12 and 17 yards downfield. So they're coming on an all-out blitz. There's no fucking quick, hot slant or check down. Rashawn Johnson has to block the other side. And we're just sitting here because it's just easy. Oh yeah, Caleb. It's Caleb's fault, and you just feed the trolls of stupidity. If any other quarterback is here, Jaden Daniels in Chicago wouldn't even be in the fucking field right now. He wouldn't. He'd be fucking on injured reserve. So when you question toughness, this kid has gotten up every time to compete. When you look at the numbers, look at his red zone numbers. They're ridiculous. In a losing season with a coach that's been fired, an offensive coordinator that was put a wussy, who was terrible, who was a clown, They fired him, replaced him with Thomas Brown, replaced all this chaos on top of the offensive line, on top of a culture that's full of selfishness. And then you're putting up breaking NFL record, Bears records, and we're sitting here having people call him a bust. To me, the bust is the fan that's falling for this dumb shit. Get me someone out there that can handle that.
So let me play this, Phil, because this plays into like the narratives that we're speaking on. But this is the throw to Rome, which we again talked about yesterday. But just watch this. People were, how does Caleb miss this throw to Rome in the middle of the field? I'll just let it play out here. You see the big window. Everybody all over Twitter was putting that on Caleb Williams. He's inaccurate. His footwork was terrible. It's 100% on the quarterback. It's not on Rome Odunze.
Rome should have never stopped.
Well, that's the rule.
Exactly. So
we broke this down yesterday.
And this is directly from Bears offensive coordinator Chris Beatty. Nick Moriano, formerly of CHGO, asked him. He said he asked about Caleb's incomplete pass to Rome Odunze against the Seahawks on the dig route in the middle of the field late in the first quarter. Williams threw to a spot and Odunze throttled down in the first window. Here's what Beatty said about the play. Yes.
Wait, before you read it, Shane.
Yep.
I know there's a pot. We broke this down. I didn't see any of Beatty stuff.
Right.
So it went exactly what I showed the patrons, correct?
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up right now. Just kind of reinforcing. So this is what Beatty said. Yeah, that is exactly what it was. And Rome saw the window. Caleb was right. You know, Rome should have stayed on the move and been a second window throw. But Rome kind of felt like, hey, I'm going to sit in the first window because he felt like he was open there. But I always tell our guys, we have to see it like the quarterback would see it, right? So if he doesn't necessarily sit back and see that window, if you can't see him, then he probably can't see you. So you need to keep going to the next window. And even though we can't anticipate, it's going to be a layered throw or whatever, it's completely our fault. But it was one of those deals. That's exactly what happened. And Caleb was right.
Again, going back to our film study of it, I know a lot of our patrons are in the audience. This is why, unfortunately, with who Shane and I are, as well as Ivan and company, get labeled a certain way, but we're always fighting for the truth because the tape never lies. So when I look at this from the football history that I have, I'm not afraid of any of these phonies out there. When you're screenshot scouting, breaking down tape, or listening to these guys like the NFL draft one, whatever the fuck his name is, who had the kid from New Orleans as the best quarterback in this draft. Yes, we got receipts. If you're listening to these people, they have a wanna be right agenda. They want to be right. They're not even Bears fans. Like this Adam shit facing, whatever the fuck his name is, he just wants to be right. So when you deal with people like that, it's undealable. I'll invite you on the show, bring your fucking tape and show it to us. Show us how you see it. Because when I looked at that play and I see Caleb stepping up the pocket, the linebacker sitting in the curl drop. So it was open on a curl. If the quarterback is staying still, you have to snap your head and move through the window. It's been that way since God knows. And guess what? The anticipation hit you in the hands. Never mind early in the first quarter when he steps up and delivers it right into Odunze's hands. He drops the fucking ball there. Then there's a drop on the sideline when he's facing a hot blitz coming right at his face, throws it. Mr. Keenan Allen drops the ball. All of these things are difference maker. But guess what? You're a losing football team with no chance at the playoffs. So you got veterans sulking, feeling sorry for themselves, or buying tickets to vacation, which DJ Moore has admitted. Which to me, he sits the bench this weekend or is not starting.
You want to know something,
I would
Phil?
sit him, start Tyler Scott.
I'll go one further. He is on the fucking. I don't give a fuck if we put him, gave him a contract. I'll look for whoever wants to take. If that's how you fucking feel, you're out here walking off the fucking field when the play's still going. This is your whole attitude after getting signed. You're supposed to be a fucking leader. I would say, hey, look for the highest bidder. Whoever wants him could take him. Make sure you get the best offer for him. He would be somebody other than a Keenan Allen, because Keenan's a rental player anyway. You want to send a message? Send a message with trading DJ's ass. If that's the attitude he wants to fucking have.
That's why I'm all for a guy like Flores coming in here. I'm not worried about offense. I'm not. That's gonna come. It really is, because you have the key chess piece, and that's the quarterback. I need the culture, the stand-up guy who's gonna lay the lumber down, the hammer. You are not gonna be fucking late. You're not gonna be fucking on your social media. You're not gonna be doing none of this shit. And if you don't like it, we are gonna fucking trade you out of town. And that is the setup. You have to take some losses to get ahead. Just like I'm talking about the kid Scadaboo. He's a 3rd, 4th round talent, but he's going to give you 1st round effort. Those are the guys that change this culture, change this Sunday feeling that you have. How many of these motherfuckers are tough in your eyes? How many? Honestly, without a losing season, how many of these guys? I would say Javon Dexter has shown me. TJ Edwards shows me. Kyler Gordon shows me toughness. On the offense, I'm struggling. Think about that, except for Caleb. So think about the culture and the attitude adjustment that you need to have. There ain't a fucking dog on the offense. Swift goes down quicker than a porn star. All of them. All of them. We need toughness out there. Rashawn Johnson, I don't know what pillar he's holding up. It's probably Atlantis under the water, drowning, because it ain't here. I don't see anybody giving that extra. Nah, Odunze, watch it. Me and Shane are breaking down the bubble screen to Keenan Allen. Odunze sitting there waiting. This is an everyday drill that you drill into the. We run bubble. You're one-on-one isolated. You fucking attack that guy. You don't sit there and wait. They do it all the time. Are you hearing any of that shit on ESPN 1000? No, we're too busy talking about fucking Caleb Williams. Oh, what he's got to do. What's his percentage? Has he quit? What? Like where? Where are we seeing this shit? On 670. Everybody, you created, you want clicks, you want conversation, have the integrity to watch the tape of this shit, because I don't know what they're watching. It ain't here with this guy. Because I just will tell you, and Guy said it right there, the refs, that was a ticky-tack penalty. With Caleb Williams throws a fucking dime touchdown to Odunze in the back of the end zone. This stuff all gets pushed under the rug because the season has been lost. And yet you're taking it out on a rookie quarterback with no guidance, no coach, no direction. Thomas Brown is struggling to do all of it. And I can't even blame the dude. Because he's been put in the worst possible situation for anybody. It's terrible. So I just don't see where Cap sees this, as you're saying, Jared.
Yeah, I
didn't hear it.
His comment was, it looks like the kid is getting hit all the time, and it looks like to me he's checked out.
I don't see it at all.
I think if Cap was on with us and we asked him, I think probably what Cap meant to say, and I mean it's a pretty bad error to make when you're saying something like checked out, because that implies quit. I'm assuming what he meant to say was he's just ready for this.
Tired of this shit.
Ready for this to all be over and be like, fuck, this is not the shit that I signed up for. I'm in the fucking NFL, and you come to a fucking place, it's a clown show.
If you're getting free runners hitting you on the field at the legs, you're taking shots. Mind you, there's a shot in this game where he scrambles up the middle and the safety comes up and hits him late. I mean, hits him right in the fucking head, and the ref doesn't throw a flag. I can see Caleb's anger and frustration, but to say that he's checked out or quit, no. And I think I haven't talked to Cap about, because obviously I must have gotten 500 DMs about it, but I didn't even hear it. So, but I don't think Cap meant it like that. I'll just say that. But I'm being transparent. I haven't talked to him about it. I'm listening to the radio today, and every show has it wrong. I can't even, I'm listening to 670, wrong. I'm listening, I didn't agree with what Courtney was saying. It's just a terrible situation that you're putting this rookie in, and you're not pulling yourself back and look at it realistically. What he's done in this dysfunction should make you so excited about, you're obviously going to be nervous. Are the Bears going to do it? But it should be exciting that imagine what he would do with a real offensive line, because anybody using PFF to support your case PFF is somehow giving these guys good grades, Shane?
Because it fits their narrative, Phil. I'm not saying it fits PFF's narrative. It fits the narrative to the people that are putting out there that the Bears have a good offensive line are people that don't want Caleb Williams at quarterback. It's that simple.
This offensive line, we were complaining with Justin behind that quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, there was issues
100%.
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Come on and prove your point to me. About the Bears' offensive line being good without using a PFF stat.
Right.
Yeah.
It hasn't been good in a long fucking time. And just to use these stats just because they fit, or just because somebody says it's how they see. I just don't see it with my eyes, with your eyes, watching the tape, watching it live. There's a mixture of a young quarterback and a bad offensive line, and that mixture is doomed for disaster. I mean, that's what happens with a young quarterback and an offensive line that really can't hold up as its end. Do you really believe in Braxton Jones? No. Do you believe in our center? No. Like, to
Ivan, I'm on record as saying you can't go into 2025 with Amagaji in Penn on the depth chart. Just can't do it.
Doesn't fit.
He's here. He's going to be a part of the team. That's fine. You can't write him in as a starter. There's no way in hell. You build your team knowing that he's a part of it. You're not building your team saying, oh, we're solidified there because Karan's going to hold that down.
And I think this is the very important point. We've looked at how they have invested. So when you go back, and we will go back with Jack, our guy, Jazowick, or Jaslinski, I forgot how to say his name.
Close enough. One of them works.
Big Jack. Jack will go back and pull some quotes from Ryan Poles has not invested in the offensive line
at all.
So when you're the second cheapest in regards to investment, and you do exactly what Shane did, and I know others have stolen this shit, and said it, but you're looking at the GM drafting guys that remind him of himself, and I'll give you evidence of that. He's talking about Lucas Patrick being a prick. He's that prick. He's a prick, right? But is he a good football player? No. So what have you given us? I forgot that they traded for Dan Neely.
Dan Neely.
Remember Dan Neely?
Yeah.
We forget the Dan Neely trade for the Dolphins that resulted in nothing because Chris Morgan sucks as his,
Don't you remember when
job.
they finally brought him into a game and he had his first snap was a bad snap, and then they pulled him out of the game?
Here he is, Jack.
It was Dan. Was it? It's
Dan
not Neely.
Feeney.
Feeney,
Dan
yeah,
Feeney,
Feeney,
sorry.
yeah.
Neely, not Neely.
Yeah, you're thinking of
I'm
Ed Neely,
suck
the
with
old
names,
power
Jack.
forward from the Bulls. Back in the
There
day.
you go. Jack Jaskowiak. There you go. Jaskowiak. I'm going to get it right. Welcome Jack to the team. But you can hear me then. Okay, you need to invest. You can't have Braxton Jones. How many times does Shane say, if you're going in with Braxton Jones as your star and that's it, that's wrong. Nope. Didn't go after Orlando Brown Jr. I had Greg Gabriel telling fans that Orlando Brown can't play left tackle. How's he doing in Cincinnati? He's a left tackle playing his ass off, dominating people. That's what you need. It's the Holy Trinity. The Bears have a 5th round. They had a 7th round slob. They got a 5th round nice kid who's soft as puppy shit, gets bullied into the backfield every day, every play. Then you draft a kid from Yale. He ain't ready, and you don't even fucking play him this week when he could use the reps now. But you have him a fucking clean scratch. Then I told you, last draft, you take a tackle. You take Brock Bowers. You have to do something that says elite. But you don't. You didn't trade down to take. You would have taken this fucking another guard. They would have traded down and taken a guard, for fuck's sake. They don't understand the tackle position. Fashanu would have been an immediate starter at left tackle. Immediate upgrade, starter. Well, they don't do that. They haven't done it. That's why we begged for Jim Harbaugh to come here. He would have taken Caleb Williams, would have traded down, or he might have just traded up and taken J.C. Latham if he loved him, because he probably wouldn't have, but he would have put a priority on the tight end and the tackle. That's what good coaches do. Shitty GMs build outside in. We have not built an offensive line. So anybody standing on any kind of fucking soapbox without looking at 3 backups out there. 3. Shane, we were struggling. Where could they even fucking start in the NFL? Nowhere. Then we add Nate Davis to the equation, where your own coach told you that this kid, immense talent, he's a fucking cancer in the locker room. He's a head case. You did it anyway, but we're going to believe in polls now. Forget about the coach. I'm just looking at the offensive line. Feeney, Lucas Patrick, Ryan Bates, Nate Davis, Jatari Carter, Zach Thomas. Where is any player a starter in the NFL? Where? You let James Daniels go, who was a clear starting caliber offensive lineman. Now Tevin has the talent. He's too injured. So what do you can't even do anything. You didn't even try him at tackle. You just continue to trot out soft puppy shit out there. And then you got Chris Morgan on top of it. All of it sucks. So I could show you the tapes of this, but if we are going to go into knowledge, and I'll challenge Tommy Waddle, I'll challenge Tom Thayer, I'll challenge anybody. Show me the offensive line play of the Commanders, the Broncos, and watch the Bears offensive. We can't pick up a TE stunt. We can't. Come on.
They haven't in 3 years. And this is a point, and this I'm glad Keys guy brought this up because there is good tape on Nate Davis. It's everything off. It's everything off the field. Not saying that he's getting in trouble. He just doesn't love football. He loves the paycheck.
It's a fucking head case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch.
He doesn't love football.
Does this sound familiar? Chase Claypool.
Another one.
Talent. There's no question. I don't care what anyone's. There's a lot of talent to Chase Claypool.
But that's something.
There's
again,
a head
those
case
guys. Then. But those guys in particular, that's what eats at me, is because Ryan Poles is looking for guys that love ball. Remember, he said that
he's lying.
His words.
Exactly.
He's looking for guys that love ball, and you go ahead and you Chase Claypool, a fucking like a Nate Davis. These are the guys you vetted. Like
I think Chase Claypool, it was one of those things. He became available, and Justin had literally nobody. They wanted to get at the free agency that year sucked at the position, and they're like, all right, this guy's only 24 years old. There's some upside there, and they fucking gambled. And it obviously blew up in their face, but to their credit, and I will give Ryan Poles credit here.
We always have, though. It's not like we haven't.
Right. No, they moved off of
he
him.
made it wrong.
Bears GMs previously would have said, "Oh, we have to stay with him because we invest
make
so
it
much."
Look right. Politics.
Because what did we get? I think we got a 6th rounder for Miami for him.
I don't remember.
I believe
Look
so.
it up. Someone in the Anthony Gordon will have it in the fucking chat. But think about this. What Ivan's talking about in the comment with Bobby L. The culture that you're preaching. I'm putting up the Falcons as well because they got a rookie quarterback. All of their offensive line, and I'll do this in the offseason. Let's take some of their tape. Watch the difference. They're absolutely trying to run the ball. They're absolutely making it a priority to run the ball, to get the tight ends involved in the seams, to do these things. And when they max protect and they get stunts, simple TE stunt, they can pick it up. It's a shame that fans aren't being spoken to and shown the truth of how negligent Chris Morgan, Ryan Poles, and the Chicago Bears are just when their offensive line play. That's how poor it is. So for me, someone who's been around the game my whole life, watching this shit, and I want to make this a priority for you to understand. This isn't just this year. This has been last year, the year before, that these fundamental teachings where hand placement, stepping with the right foot, their kick slide, all of this stuff is consistently inconsistent. And that's a coaching issue. There's a talent issue and a coaching issue that is so putrid when it comes to the Chicago Bears. And it's completely different in other franchises. And we just went through personnel. But if you really want to learn this game and understand it, you become a patron. Because I will show you that Nostradamus, whatever the fuck his name was, putting that bullshit and running with a narrative about Caleb Williams. I don't know how much prouder I can be of Caleb Williams. He's exactly what I expected him to be, but he's even showing me more toughness, more competitive composure based on the utter chaos that the Chicago Bears offense and offensive line has done this season. And it ain't even fucking debatable. It's just sad. And yes, it's been a consistent, and that's how ignorant it is that you married Chris Morgan to another offensive coordinator who doesn't have the same philosophical offense as you're teaching on the offensive line, which is terrible anyway. And mind you, that same GM that Ivan's talking about his culture and the type of players he wants, he's allowing this shit to happen. He's standing at the table for Chris Morgan's return. He's signing off on Shane Waldron over Cliff Kingsbury because, yes, we did report that Mr. Eberflus was intimidated by Cliff. That's why he's not here. So the Chicago Bears under Ryan Poles, to Shane's point, where he takes a step forward, he's the Paula Abdul of GMs, taking 2-3 steps back once you take a step forward. And therefore, you're always going to be at a loss. You got to build off the tradition. And if it's me, he's fired. He's gone. Kevin Warren fires him. You have a whole clean slate. Where
it's just so anti-Bears to do the right thing. That's where I agree with you, Phil, 100%. I just, if we get to Black Monday and the Bears fire Ryan Poles, it means that your next head coach is going to be Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel. That's it. You'll know right then. If he's
Black
here,
Monday is this coming Monday.
Yeah. And that's when you would do it.
I know.
Yeah, you can't let it go. And if he's launched, it's going to be one of those two guys. And they're both going to have a say to who is brought in. I don't think Flores has that power to do that, and he's got some other issues that obviously need to be addressed. But I don't think there's anybody else besides Vrabel or Ben Johnson that has enough cachet to say, well, this is going to be my GM if you want me. And I don't blame either one of those guys. If I was in that position, you don't get the chance. You want to go down with your guys. I don't want to say, oh, maybe Ryan Poles will work out. No, I'm going to go get my guy that I'm comfortable with, that knows me, that I know him. I know what he looks for in players. It's like trying to start a podcast with somebody that you have no idea that you've never talked to. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. Phil and I have put in our 10,000 hours 10 years ago on this. It's just, you'll have your answer Monday if Ryan Poles is still here.
I'm looking forward to seeing what, I hope there's some announcement that you're going to be able to get on top of that, some sort of date for Ryan Poles or whoever, Kevin Warren being out there. Obviously, if they're firing Poles, you would hope it would happen on Monday. You would hope that would happen on Monday.
They don't do anything the correct way. They just don't. Listen, you can back channel. They know right now if Ben Johnson wants the guy from the Commanders as his GM. They know that. They can't come out and admit it.
Listen, if I look at this football team from this perspective alone, you need a man that's going to come in there and command the room. We talked about this on Patreon with these assholes, and you could fill in the blanks of who leader of men, giggle, 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 laugh, laugh, laugh. We have talked about this ad nauseum here with some of these stupid assholes thinking that they know football, laughing at leader of men coming out into the public and joking about what that means. Let me tell you what it means, really, what is being said. Because Ryan hired Matt Eberflus. That apparently has been confirmed by Weider and several other people, The Athletic. So Ryan Poles hired a cornball, a joke, a guy that didn't command the locker room, that didn't have the respect of his players. Everything Ryan Poles stood at the podium, and we produced that video that's on our YouTube channel and stated about Matt Eberflus was a lie. It was a build-up to build up a guy that he had signed. It's a political move.
I was given the opportunity. I found him.
There was no merit to it. So when I hear all players love the guy in the locker room, they love him because he's so fucking soft they could do whatever the fuck they want. And that includes lose really, really well. So what a leader of men is somebody that goes in there and sets the tone of who he is and what his expectation is for this football team through his personality. Because you all reflect me, and you're authentic, truthful, compassionate, vulnerable. You're all those things because at the end of the day, you're dealing with men and young men. And you're a hard ass to the level of integrity that you expect from this football team. And it's every fucking player, including the practice squad, all are treated the same way. There's no exceptions. And you're fiery, you're intense, because winning is the most important thing, not the prize free agent that you signed to a huge deal that sucks all week in practice. And then you just start them no matter what you're seeing this rookie do. That's the wrong way as a coach. That's how you lose the locker room. That's how you become a cornball. You become a two-faced. And that's all the Chicago Bears have been since I can remember now. And that's the problem. That's what leader of men means. Someone that has the respect of the players and brings an arrogance of who he is to dominate the locker room the right way. Doesn't mean you're in there screaming and yelling at everybody, being a fucking general. You're in there to embrace an identity of who you are and have those players buy into it. And if they can't, the Chicago Bears can't understand that. So that's why it's surmised down to leader of men, because George McCaskey gets nervous with cursing, for God's sake. He gets nervous with having to hear that major changes in administration on down need to be had if you're going to try and become a true winning organization. If that makes you uncomfortable and you cower, then of course you're going to take the guy that's nice and fun and goes to church every week. He's a good Christian and he's not going to swear. No, that's the prerequisite with George. And that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. It's got to be football above all. And that's where the maniacal stuff is. And I think it's a mortal football sin that Ryan Poles could sit there with anybody. And if Kevin Warren is involved in this, he's a problem too. That you would have the ultimate layup and Jim Harbaugh sitting there for you last year, and you chose not to talk to him for whatever. Was it Eberflus was staying on because the GM said so, or Kevin Warren didn't like Jim Harbaugh, and thus we're not going to talk? You see what losing does?
You had the perfect storm.
100%.
The number one pick. You could have had Harbaugh. And Phil and I were talking on the phone earlier today, and I said the Bears and Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren, when it came to Jim Harbaugh, they had the girl at the bar that was a 10 that wanted to go home with you. And they said, go fuck yourself. I'm going to wait it out, and there's probably going to be an 11 come in here about 2:00. That's the Bears. They've always been a franchise that is not a year too late. It's 2 or 3 years too late rather than a year early. That's how they operate. Sure, there's some positives of Ryan Poles. There's nobody with a clear conscience that can come on air with us right now and make a valid case that has more positives than negatives for Ryan Poles keeping his job. Just not.
It would be, I want to say this. If, say, the Bears were to hire me as the head coach, then I would be bringing Shane. Ryan Poles didn't like that. No. Then that's where Ryan's got to go. It's just that simple. And we said this on our patron show, and I'm going to say it here again. The coach is more important than the GM. 100 out of 100. More important. Get it out of your fucking Chicago brain that it's the other way. The coach sets the culture of the team. That's why it's so important to have a good marriage, a good working relationship with the GM. Because they're buying the groceries, as Bill Parcells would say. I'm fucking cooking the food. I'm just giving him my list. He better check it twice. That's how it works. The Bears think there's some Ryan Poles is a nobody. Don't give it. What has he done? There's not one. Did he even draft Jalen Johnson? No, he didn't, right? So the one Pro Bowl player we have,
2020 draft, yep.
The one Pro Bowl player we have wasn't even drafted. There's not another Pro Bowl player he's drafted.
Nope.
So yeah, you found him. Another fucking terrible find. That's the problem here. Got to get the coach right. George McCaskey, I'm just a fan. I'm just an umpire. I'm just this. I'm just that. I'm just walking through. Just going to wear the fake Chicago Blackhawks jersey. I'm just this. I'm going to ride a simple car. I'm going to paint myself as an image, but I'm a fucking meddler. No. Bruce Arians. No. He's too tough. No, God forbid we go after a guy like Gruden. Oh, I was right about Gruden. Yeah, did you see the email? That's who he is. He's soft. He's got, Mike McCarthy goes to church. Maybe they'll fire him. In Dallas, we'll get him. This is the stuff that's got to stop. You can't get a yes man as a GM. And for whatever Ballard has done with the Colts, the one thing I can say is I know per him that he told George to his face in the interview, there's two things you got to do before anything. Get rid of Ted Phillips and get rid of Jay Cutler. And George McCaskey ended the interview at that.
So this is
that's what they are. That's what they are.
so guy is saying the most important thing for this team is I want to know the head coach I bring in is going to get the best out of him. I just can't. He's saying the most important thing is for Caleb. Thing about it is, guy, is what we are saying and what fans don't want to hear is they assume if you go out and sign an offensive minded head coach, that everything is going to be fixed. And if he does not have the respect of the team, it means nothing. You're going to be right back in the same fucking boat with a team that doesn't respect the coach, that isn't going to follow the fucking rules, that are going to lay down like DJ Moore has and Jalen Johnson has, and all of these guys have over and over, when you're letting these guys control everything that's
100%.
going on. You have to have a leader at head coach. And if you don't, you're fucked. You're fucked. And I understand the
100%.
rebuttal can be, well, if you do good on offense and you lose that OC, you have
That's a
competence.
great problem to have.
Right. But it's
You have a plan.
yeah. Can't hire you.
It's not really hard to call plays. It's hard to coach the offensive line. It's hard to get a culture built. It's hard to squeeze that 10% out of these talented football players. Situational football has been very difficult for coaches. You see it every Sunday. We saw it more than any other team in the league. We became a laughingstock under Eberflus because it was exactly what Shane said. The guy might be a good defensive coordinator, but when it comes to situational football, he is a fucking head case. He's lost. And it proved right every Sunday. We're talking major leads lost under that coach, and they stuck with him. It had a layup in your face, and you stuck with the guy that was your friend or whatever you wanted to be, right? No, you don't worry about Vrabel's OC. You don't worry about Flores's OC. You worry about the coach. Everything else will fall into place. Don't get Lovey and his Terry Shea shit twisted. A lot of people rewrite Lovey's story. Lovey was an average coach. Good to average. Got him to the Super Bowl. Really good defensive mind. He was stubborn as shit, and that's what cost him. Because he should have kept Ron Rivera as defensive coordinator.
I have seen all the calls for Lovie Smith from people, and it's just Lovie Smith has 27 wins as a head coach since 2014 between Tampa, Illinois, and Houston. 27 wins. Stop. He is who he is. It's fine. He's a good dude. It's great.
I want to get it all out. Like for me, John Gruden I would have no problem with John Gruden as your head coach because he would bring what I'm asking. You might not like the guy. That's fine. A lot of people don't like a lot of coaches, but I know he would bring that culture, bring the tenacity. And if there ever was the anti-opposite of the McCaskey, it would be John Gruden. And that's all I'm trying to tell you. Do I stand for what John did or whatever? We don't even know. But Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, Angel Bernard says, I saw a video of Poles and Warren hugging each other after the Seahawks game. That's a tell that Ryan is Warren's guy. Well, there's Kevin Warren and Justin Fields hugging after the Falcons game last year. I wouldn't look into it too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't look into it. I'm serious. I honestly don't have any idea what is happening.
I don't either.
I'm coming from what My heart tells me what I would do. What needs to be done is that Ryan Poles needs to go. The culture, the mistake of Shane Waldron. If he came in and hired Thomas Brown and Thomas had a great, we wouldn't even be here talking about it. But that's his second coach to me, because you sat in there and pounded the table for Shane Waldron. And I know for a fact the head coach was intimidated by Cliff Kingsbury.
This is what I told the patrons yesterday, Phil, after we were done breaking down the tape, and I will stick to it. 2017, we worked that draft. We were, going pick by pick and doing that whole thing. And you and I took a lot of flack from where we were about wanting quarterback no matter what, because they were up to bat. They needed to swing the fucking bat. And that was the whole, you got to draft Jamal Adams, bring in the fucking tone setter on defense, all that bullshit. Neither one of us would have drafted Mitch. We said that. But at the end of the day, we're like, at least they swung the bat at quarterback. That's what we wanted them to do. So that was egregious. That was a terrible move. They ended up trading up one spot, and that's terrible. And it wasn't even the worst move. They followed it up. Their next move immediately after that was to draft Adam Shaheen in round 2. That was worse. You took a bad situation, you made it worse by taking Shaheen there. So you had a bad situation with Matt Eberflus. You got rid of everybody on offense except for Simo, except for Chris Morgan. So your next move after that was to give Caleb Williams, and you knew you were getting Caleb Williams when you brought in Shane Waldron. Let's be honest. They knew it was going to be Caleb Williams. Your move was
100%.
Shane Waldron. Nothing else needs to be said after that. That's the fire point right there. Done. Ryan, thank you. We're parting ways. Security will usher you out. We will make sure you get all your stuff. That's it.
I agree.
It's not hard.
Eberflus and signing on Waldron, knowing you're drafting Caleb, is so Bears pathetic with polls. You have to be under the guides of, I'm the GM, I'm doing this the right way when you got the ball in your hand. If you allow George McCaskey or some old fucking white boy network of fucking raisin fucks all washed up to convince you to hire this guy, John Fox, let's hire this guy, and Matt Eberflus. I worked with the Colts, and he's a great man with great pride and everything, values and all that with his family. He's such a great, and you allow that shit, then you're the bigger problem than they are. You have to fucking stand up for the truth. And I will say this, I'm more concerned about the defense than I am the offense with all of this shit, because I know you could fix this offensive line in a year. Despite what anybody else thinks, I've seen it. I know it. By hiring the right head coach, they're going to get the talent in there, and your fucking new O-line coach is teaching and preaching protection. Every fucking thing you could think of coming at you. These guys are so bad. My dad laughs at this shit. He said, Phil, we can go in there in 2 weeks, have this whole fucking thing different, and they'd be playing their asses off. This is pathetic what I see. It happens. It happens. It won't happen with the right guy. So if Flores is the guy, I have utmost confidence that he will go in there and do what's necessary to fix the entire offense. Because I'll tell you what, this soft-ass cover 2, 3rd and 17, dump off for 22 yards, 28 yards, done. You need aggressive on defense. You need creativity.
We can't share the name, But there is a Chicago Bears offensive player that's on the roster this year, starter.
Yep.
And who does he want as head coach? Who was his number one choice? His number one choice was Mike Vrabel. And why was that? Because we need somebody that's going to come in here and crack some fucking heads. That's a fucking player saying that. But we need to bring in an offensive guy because offense is fun and it's all about Caleb, which it is. Caleb is the most important piece. I get it. And you want to know what? None of it fucking matters if everything around you crumbles because you have no fucking culture. That's a guy on offense saying that on this roster.
On the team. Don't give any names away.
And it was not Byard.
But that's fact. When the players recognize the soft culture and players taking advantage of it, and you're busting your ass, and there's no accountability. So what the fuck am I doing? The only accountability is Phil and Shane on their fucking show, hammering away at us. And that's the pathetic, because everybody else is hammering at Caleb. Oh, I got scot-free out of this because what the fuck world do we live in that this rookie quarterback, I don't even have numbers, Shane. I could look, you can give me the numbers, but it's like one guy is on the most dysfunctional team in the entire NFL. Another guy is on a team with a new owner, a new coach who thought he was going to be the coach here, by the way, and has consistent run game, picked up offensive line play, creativity going on, and the defense, mind you, is creating turnovers, covering your shitty turnovers in critical situations. The defense of the Chicago Bears has been so soft that they're lucky that the ignorance of the media and the world is talking about Caleb, because there should be a fucking huge spotlight on how pathetic they are. But it isn't. Because I'll tell you what, just as important as a run game for a quarterback, and you all bring up the Bears in 2018. That team won the division and went to the playoffs because of the defense. That's the truth. And Mitch Trubisky looked like something because of the defense and those short fields, turnovers. They had 39 turnovers, I believe. They had 8 touchdowns on defense. What Caleb is doing with this shit show gives me every fucking confidence in the world in the talent that he is, that I scouted, and exactly where he needs to be going. Is he doing everything right? No. I have called it out. He's got to hit the throw that he missed. Cole Kmet coming across. I show all of it. There's no cherry pick.
2 weeks ago, he missed Keenan down the sideline. Gotta hit that.
Keenan down the sideline. But you know what is needed instead of vitriol is perspective. Is Gerald Everett sprinting his route?
No.
Is DJ Moore sprinting, hustling at the stem of the... I show you tape of Cole Kmet running a flag. I don't even know what kind of play design this is.
As if you're not a patron, just go sign up for a month. It's $7. What Phil is telling you, we just went over all of this last night. And we sit here and we talk. We'll put a play up, slow it down, run it back. We talk about it. We show you what we're talking. We're not making this up. Any patron in the chat will validate what we're saying. We show you.
It's no screenshot. It's literal telestration, rewind, just like a coach's tape, just so you could see it. If you were a fan of the YouTube videos that I did that garnered hundreds of thousands of views because they were free, then you will be a fan of this because it's live and you can ask questions in the process of it. But there's a straight outside zone waggle boot. And your tight end is running a 27-yard roundabout flag. 27 yards deep. What world do you I don't even know where that's designed. I know
he's talking about Keenan Allen, by the way.
No, I'm talking about Cole Kmet. He's
I thought you
running
were talking.
on
My
the
bad.
boot.
I was talking about the flag.
No, you're on a different
Yeah.
play, but that
All right, my
one
bad.
too. On that play, Keenan's running way too deep. This tight end should be running at 17 yards, 15 to 17 on a straight up plant and get to the corner. There's no layers. The DJ Moore is running the back out the wing, coming into the flat. You should have the tight end on the front side running the flag, and then the backside receiver should be running the drag at 10 yards. So you have levels. They're all jogging. So how are you getting a perfect analysis of the player? You're not. They're not sprinting. That's why I say, as a coach, Vrabel, Flores, I don't know. I hope Ben Johnson would be like, get the fuck out of here. Get Scott, get in there. Now Scott runs the fucking sprint out of that shit, clears the safety out. The tight end becomes wide open, and Caleb hits it. That's how you get football. That's how you win. Everybody's got to be unselfish. All I see on tape, this isn't just this last week. This is all through the season. Got guys hands on hips. Gerald Everett jogging. Cole Kmet jogging. He ain't getting the ball. Cole Kmet taking his helmet off, slamming it on the ground. This is what's going on in this football team. Yeah, everybody's pointing fingers because you don't have a coach. And you put Thomas Brown in a terrible situation because every single one of those fucking guys in the locker room know he ain't going to be the head coach next year. So what am I going to listen to him for? And you put him in that situation. That's what the Eberflus shit has done. That's what Ryan Poles has done. And that's what sucker soft ownership has done. And that's where this Chicago Bears team ends up becoming and staying. This isn't wannabe right breakdowns here on TTNL. This is, let's look at this truthfully. There was 7 sacks. Everybody in the media has blamed them all on Caleb except TTNL. I will tell you right now, it's impossible to blame all those 7 sacks on him. In fact, real NFL people, I forget, Ben Devine put it out there. I know other people have put it out. Caleb Williams is sacked the most and is responsible for the least out of all the quarterbacks in the NFL. Think about that statement and put it to where this media is talking about this kid. With, what does he have? 3,000.
Yeah, it's almost 3,400.
Almost 3,400 yards. Meanwhile, a team sport with a defense in other cities is going out there and they're winning for their quarterback. Caleb Williams has already surpassed Justin Fields' time with the Bears in these single season stats. Passing yards, passing touchdowns, and scrimmage yards. He already has higher marks in completion percentage, passing rating, and TD to interception ratio. But people are going to have you believe other shit. When I look at it and I look at the whole picture of this, it's amazing that he continues to get up. And it's pathetic what it is that these fans can't appreciate. what it is that I see. You're gonna label me as a fanboy. That's what you're gonna do. And that's funny. When I look at the tape, I'm applauding someone who's actually trying his ass off to give this Chicago Bears team an opportunity to win. And how quickly we forget the blocked field goal from Green Bay shoving the shit out of our fucking long snapper. We forget these things, how Caleb put you in the win against Jaden Daniels, but our coach doesn't want to call a timeout on a 65-yard Hail Mary touchdown for a loss. These things are real. I can't recommend Ben Johnson because I don't know who Ben Johnson is.
Yeah, we've never said. I mean, well, we've.
I know he's an arrogant dude. That checks a box for me.
Yeah, a good box. Yeah, that's
a good box.
You need
like
a little. You need a little bit of I don't give a fuck.
I believe he should go to ownership and say, no, I don't want this fucking GM. You want me here? I like that. That's another check in the box for him.
Yeah, if the Bears go out and hire Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles is launched to the fucking moon, I'm a massive Ben Johnson fan because that means he fucking came into this with a plan, knowing what he wants, and he went and fucking got it. And I'll give a tip of the cap to Kevin Warren and even to George McCaskey.
100%. That would tell me you're putting football first, something you haven't. Just the same way with Chase Daniel. Same way. Chase Claypool, rather. Chase Daniel. He's dumb as a box of rocks, too. Fucking Chase Daniels. Is he rooting for Mike McCarthy to come here?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Of course, Mike McCarthy is going to be interested in the Bears' job. You have a young quarterback, and of course, he would love his third head coaching gig in the NFL. Of course.
The
yes, 100%. He's calling plays.
100%.
I would be.
That's his job.
He didn't. Yeah.
He's arrogant. He's detailed.
Right.
And he's going to go call the plays. And that should be your MO. If I was the head coach, I would be fucking calling plays too. I'm not letting somebody else do it.
So Scottish
it's my job.
Scottish Bear has an interesting one here. Do you think Mike Vrabel could work with Poles considering his previous GM wouldn't even consult Vrabel with draft picks and trades? Poles did consult with Flus in drafting and free agency. So according to Diana Rossini, who was on with Hogan Johns, she talked about it a little bit, and she seemed very tepid on Vrabel to Chicago being a thing. She thinks that Ben Johnson would be great in Chicago. She doesn't think it's probably not going to happen because of the connection with Ben potentially wanting somebody else. And she doesn't feel like the Bears will move off of Poles. And if you listen to the podcast, you came out of there. My vibe was, according to Rossini, that Flores was the leader in the clubhouse in Chicago, because she was talking about how much of a disciplinarian he is, even more so than Vrabel. He's going to come in here, no nonsense. And then the connection Sylvie brought up would be, I don't think he had any inside source. You have to connect the dots, and the good old boy network, unfortunately, is a real thing with most teams. Is Kevin Warren came from where? Minnesota. Still has a lot of ties to where? Minnesota. Brian Flores is where? In Minnesota. Brian Flores has a connection to Ryan Poles in BC. And he could bring over a guy as an OC in Josh McCown, who the McCaskies happen to fucking love.
I like Josh McCown as the OC. I do. I like him, period. But I'm not. That's my leader in the clubhouse based on if polls stays.
Speaking of leaders, look at this guy, Matthew Carsonson. Is he? I
Yeah.
don't think he's back home yet. This is
He's
Cars.
from Florida. He's from Florida.
I think he went down to visit his son, Dustin Regan Padilla.
Well, he's right. It's going to be telling. I mean, for me, I have no problem trading for a coach either, like Kyle Shanahan. I don't, because I know how important the coach is right now. It is so important for this function that we have here.
Yeah. If Vrabel goes to the Jets, Vince, it's because he's likely going to go to the Jets, and Woody Johnson would give him full control. That's what that would probably come down to.
What is his Madden rating?
Yeah.
What's Vrabel's Madden rating? What's up, Cars? Happy New Year to Cars. Lord Cars.
He's in
From
Bama.
Bama.
Yeah.
Just kicking Kane in the balls.
No, he texted me earlier. I said, yes, Cars Keys.
Yes, hold
Right,
on.
Nick.
It's coming
Yep,
up right
it's coming
now.
up. Just stay tuned, Nick.
This is the keys right here.
Yeah.
From Bama. He's giving you in the chat. He's giving you keys.
Yes. Here it comes, Nick. There you go. Here we are. Here we are.
For Lord Cars.
Lord Cars. The whole thing for me boils down to the right man in front of this shit show. And I honestly, I'm telling you now, this defense has to be more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a pathetic display of, getting 1,000 paper cuts of watching this team play soft. And it's going to fucking fire me up on Sunday, no matter what. It's going to fire me up just watching them sit in these soft zones. I'm watching their linebackers 7 yards off the ball, not coming downhill, not playing the run aggressively, trying to find a penetrator with the 3 tech that you don't have right now.
Milton Williams, Philadelphia Eagles. That's your target in free agency.
Yeah.
Yep. You bring him in. He's going to fit next to Jervon. Yeah.
There you go.
That's your guy.
Well, it depends on who I know Flores will come in here, man the fuck up. It'll be blitzing the motherfucker. And I'm all for the aggressiveness. Like, go down fighting. Stop sitting in this shit. Again, you think it's funny? It isn't. The 46 defense is an aggressive front to get penetration and throw comfort out the window in a quarterback's lap. That kind of aggressiveness, preparation-wise, Flores will flourish with the Chicago Bears. And when you have good corners, you could do so much. And the Bears are very good at corner. And that will be a godsend. You want to see a team turn around in a season? You already got the quarterback. You get a really good defense, aggressive, forcing these stops, going to war each and every Sunday. We'll be back. And then, the culture will change in regards to running the football. And I know Josh McCown would love that. It does. They go after it. And that's really what you see. Third downs are creative stunts and blitzes to go after and create an opportunity of a turnover or an incompletion and a punt. Sitting in these zones and rallying up to the football and praying that Tremaine Edmonds is going to make a fucking tackle, or Lewis, or what's his name? Smith is going to make a tackle at corner, or Owens is going to come up and make a tackle, or
Right.
your Elijah Hicks, for God's sake. It's
Right.
like, come on.
So just this is important, and I'm not putting James on blast because I've said this myself. And everybody does need to realize that you're not getting the Detroit offense. You do not have the Detroit offensive line. The rebuttal to that is, just like with Caleb Williams, it's not all going to be fixed in 1 year. Caleb Williams wasn't leading you to the Super Bowl in year one and coming in as a finished product. Ben Johnson is not going to be. The Bears' offensive line isn't going to be fixed. It's going to be a work in progress, but at least, to Phil's point, you have the $82 million in cap space. You have the top 10 pick. You have 2 high second-round picks. So you have some ammo to do some damage there and fill some holes. You know, are you going to have to take some swings in free agency that are going to be scary? Yep, probably. Probably with a guy like Mekhi Becton.
Yep.
To play inside. He's a younger guy. He's huge. He's got some warts, but you want to think that he got it figured out. You know, it's going to be a guy like that you're going to be looking at. And then obviously the draft. But that's part of it. But it's not, Ben Johnson is not going to come here and give you the Detroit offense. It's not in year one.
Doesn't
No,
have the old line yet. Doesn't have the tight ends. Doesn't have the running backs. Doesn't have the receivers. I don't worry about Flores at all with Caleb. And
but
this
Jake
is
makes a great point here.
Yeah.
Too, and he wanted Herbert, and he was pissed off about that. He was pounding the table for Herbert. And that was the whole tank for Tua. He refused to tank for Tua. The owner was pissed. And then
Tua, from what I heard from one of the players on the team, can be a little angry little bitch.
I'm not. Well, listen, you guys. Everybody knows I'm
from
an
another.
Everybody knows I'm
player.
Everybody knows I'm an Alabama fan, and I was not a Tua believer as an NFL quarterback. Now he's put up some eye-popping numbers, but he was always nicked. He was nicked up in high school. He was nicked up in Alabama. He's been nicked up, and then you throw the concussions on top of it in Miami, and he's had some fun offensive numbers. I get it.
I'll share this from a player that played under Flores. He said, because I was doing some reconnaissance on Flores, and he said, don't get it twisted. Flores doesn't take shit from nobody. And he wants to fucking win. And I'll say this about the Tua situation. Again, this is coming from somebody who loved Flores, loved playing for him. He said Tua created a lot of drama and acted like a little soft bitch, was the exact quote, because he got paid. You know, he got chosen as a rookie, so he felt like he was entitled. He came in with a bad attitude. So take it for what it's worth. Not excusing what Flores did, but I am saying as a man, he could have just said nothing. He did the right thing and said, you know what, I fucked up there. I learned from it. Again, I'm just paraphrasing. Because you know they're going to ask, if Flores is the coach, that's the first thing they're going to ask. Is about the Tua situation. So,
bare truth, I think he's 100% a guy that you look at. He's a little bit older. I believe he's 28 or 29 years old, not making a bunch of money. But yeah, I mean, those are the moves that you're going to have to look at in free agency, and give a guy his chance. Yeah, totally agree. He's a good player.
Matt Carsonson, whoever this guy is, makes a good point here. But it's true.
Yeah.
The showcase of what the position is and demands is fluid. And thus, one day they're talking about you like this. The next day, you're a piece of garbage, or the next season.
Yeah. RG3 Rookie of the Year over Andrew Luck.
I forgot about that. Thank you.
Anthony Thomas won Rookie of the Year over LaDainian Tomlinson in 2001.
We've always talked about, listen, you are lucky to where you fall in a culture or situation when you get drafted. Looking at what I'm just telling you, what Washington is versus what this is night and day. You want to crown him and go crown his ass. But I guarantee the Bears get this right. And this is huge. It's never been more big. The coach. If they get this right, then you're cooking with gas. I'm just telling you, because the last thing I'm worried about in this football team, and I'm being honest, is the quarterback. I'm not. I know what that talent is. He is not a perfect product, nor is there any. But where his floor is right now, even with the numbers, they should be fucking having a parade in Chicago for this because of the dysfunction that he's doing it in. That even says more. Any other fucking look at what's David Carr's stats that year he took 70 sacks or whatever. I guarantee he's in the double digit interceptions. I guarantee he's I'm just saying.
He played 16 games. He was 233 of 444 for a 52.5% completion percentage, 2,592 yards, 5.8 per pass, 9 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, sacked 76 times.
76 times, 15 interceptions, 9 touchdowns. What Caleb is doing, even the escapability and running for first downs, when he is exactly what Shane and I said, he doesn't want to run. He'll tightrope the line of scrimmage looking for a throw. And we got receivers fucking jogging or standing still. That shit would never happen under my watch. That's why Colin, Tyler, get the fuck in there, run the routes, sprint the fucking routes, then start holding people accountable. So I'm just saying, when you look, I didn't even bring that up. No one brings that shit up, but we will. Just shows you what you have in a quarterback. Can't win the game by yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Just can't. Your defense sucks.
Flores
Your
reached out.
defense is terrible.
Flores reached out to Thomas Brown to give advice and respect. Is there a chance Thomas Brown could become OC? I hope not. I've moved past that. For me, Thomas Brown being the OC,
I don't think Thomas had gotten a fair opportunity because
I'm not saying that I'm down on
Shane
him.
Waldron,
yeah,
he's running his philosophy because you can't turn around and change it.
But
so I wouldn't mind it per se if Flores.
We've also seen some issues with him calling.
I have,
plays
yes.
Yeah, that's my point. More so,
I have. I don't like some of the play situation. Like, I don't like short side field throws.
Right.
It bubbles. I don't think that works. I don't like the gun, too much gun. I don't like 1st and 10. You just got a first down and you're in empties. I don't like that shit. Unless you're going QB draw, I don't like it. Like, you're in Chicago, run the fucking ball. You just got a first down. Run the fucking ball. But anyway, so yeah, some of Thomas Brown's stuff. But I will say, when he came in and he was in the booth calling plays, you could see a different functioning of the offense. It was more consistent and it was better. That doesn't mean he gets the job, but that does mean I would be willing to believe in Coach Flores if that was the case. He hasn't seen a QB sneak all season. I know. We did see the center dive, Jamal.
Yeah.
We saw the center dive. That's taking over the QB sneak. I do think you'd get a better Thomas Brown if he was given the job in the booth. I think he feels more comfortable in the booth. Bears didn't do him any favors either, because going from passing game coordinator to OC and now I'm getting comfortable. Hey, I like that. We're getting somewhere. Yeah, our head coach sucks at timeouts and such. But no, he's gone. You're in, and it was too much for him as the head coach. But again, I'm just answering honestly to the guy's question, and that's what we do here. I don't need to be right.
Right.
I just want the Bears to be right. They have not been right. They also haven't done things that we have said here that they should do. I'm of the belief that Caleb should play this weekend. Shane,
Me too.
are you?
Yeah. Play him. Totally.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think, you don't get anything out of playing. I totally do. I go, you get an opportunity to go against your rival. You get an opportunity to prepare. You get an opportunity to see this kid could possibly go out there and win this game. Go out there and fucking win the game.
Stranger things have happened. I mean, it would be pretty goddamn strange, but
Cars again.
Yeah, it's true.
It's 100% true. That's the big indictment. That's why TTNL sell the team chance. It weren't swanky to think that they're going to sell the fucking team. We know they're not going to sell that's like the casinos. Sell the fucking slots. They're not going to sell. They're making so much money. It's to fucking put the pressure and indictment on shit. The shit that George McCaskey is selling. The softness, the tragedy of his hiring practices, these nice church-going yes men going on down the line. Your prerequisite is going to church with the McCaskies on Sunday. That's a problem. That's a problem. You go to church, George. Pray that somebody can do this better than you. Step out. You let Ted meddle for years with you. Now you're the meddler. Now you got to step out. That's what the chant is for. Sell the team means get George out. That's what it means. You should have beat the Packers the last time you played.
Should have.
Is Green Bay playing their starters, Shane?
They're expected to. Yeah, they may not play
There
the
you go.
entire game, depending on what's going on. But yeah, they're expected to play. And listen, doesn't even the Bears aren't good enough to beat Malik Willis and
Right.
whoever they send out there. We've seen that before. Who was the fucking guy from he was Seattle's quarterback, and Green Bay picked him up for a while, and he came to Chicago and played for the Packers and beat Chicago. Fuck, what was his name?
Wait.
It's a quarterback for Seattle. Black dude. Somebody in the chat will have it. I'm blanking on his name. He played at Iowa State. I think, wasn't he a quarterback at Iowa State?
Seneca Wallace or
Yes.
Brett Hundley?
Yep.
Was
Seneca
it Brett
Wallace.
Hundley?
Maybe it was. It was one of them.
I think it was Brett Hundley that beat us.
Yeah, all right. So it was, Brent Hundley.
Remember me and you talked about this on the
Yeah.
phone that time. And I was like, Hundley out of UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA. I knew it was one of those guys, but
Hundley.
yeah, we were like, oh fuck, here we go. And Brett Hundley comes to Chicago, and Green Bay walks
Beats
away with a
Chicago.
dub.
Yeah, I'd love to see a victory. I don't even care about where it puts us in the draft. I know that a lot of people don't. I like to go out like that and get the momentum of getting a great coach here. But That's just me. And I'm tired of losing to the Packers. What how many positions will you drop? 3, 2, maybe none.
If you win, yeah,
Yeah,
it's not too bad because New Orleans is 5-11.
right.
So I mean, yeah, I guess potentially you could go to 10th.
Yeah, I would love a fucking ray of sunshine, as he said.
But
It'd
where
be
it's
nice.
interesting is like New England, Tennessee, Cleveland, and the Giants all have 3 wins.
Yeah, so you're not going anywhere anyway. They're not
But-
playing each
but-
other, are they?
Jacksonville, Carolina, the Jets, and Vegas all ahead of us all have 4 wins, just like we do. So that starts from 5 to 9, all have 4 wins. And the Giants are playing Philly, and Philly is not playing Saquon.
We got
then-
our quarterback. Go out with a ray of sunshine, as Matt said, and then make that momentum be the coach. The momentum will be the coach. I'm for firing Ryan Poles. We'll see what they do, though. The Bears have lost 11 straight to the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. And I
The
mean,
Bears have also lost 11 straight games.
Mhm.
So there you go. It's
10.
2025.
Yeah, if we lose, it'll
10?
be 11. Yeah.
Okay. So you've lost 11? Yeah, Bear Truth, wake up. I made a whole thing about him being a DC villain. The meddler. Mr. George McCaskey standing in his long Bears coat, that navy blue coat, watching practice. But God forbid anybody else watch practice and film a play. Christ. Just get this shit fixed. It's gotta happen now. You're a year late. You lost out on getting the right coach.
Right.
Now you got to do it here. College coaches. Somebody asked me about the Arizona State coach. No, he's not making that jump to the NFL right now, and he just got an extension. I like his enthusiasm.
But that's the thing, and that's what people need to pump the brakes on, Phil. They watch one fucking game, and it's an interesting game, and they're like, oh, I'd love this dude to coach the Bears. And you know nothing about him other than that you watched one Arizona State game. Like I saw that with Scatabo.
Yeah.
Like I've seen him play, but then there's people that I know have not watched him at all, and they're like, oh, I'm all about this dude. You know what I mean? I get it. There's a lot there to like, but it takes.
Well, I knew it was going to
a little
happen.
bit more than that. Yeah.
I like the guy a lot, and I know your proverbial joke will come up in it, but I know exactly what you're saying. When it comes to the coach, you don't really know much about him. I do know about Sarkisian. I like the coach. I just don't know if he's going to the NFL. He's not.
No, he ain't leaving. He ain't leaving Texas.
Drew Black, Cliff Kingsbury. I believe he deserves an interview. Yeah, but
yeah, he talked to him.
He's not my choice. I just don't see the leader of men aspect that I defined for the Gigglers, which is also a DC villain. Convenient. Pete Carroll is definitely I would not be upset if they hired Pete, because I know what he does and what he brings is exactly what I was hoping for the locker room. I'm on board with Pete Carroll. I would not be upset at all. I'd be a little disappointed in Cliff Kingsbury.
I got to know who he's hiring. Pete.
Well, Pete falls in line of what it is I like.
I know, but he Pete's also the guy that brought in Shane Waldron for 3 years.
But I also was told that other people were calling plays with Waldron.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything on that.
But yeah, the Waldron thing does give you a scare. Freeman is not leaving Notre Dame.
No. Just saying.
Bears were sniffing around Freeman.
That's why he got his extension.
Exactly.
100%.
The Bears were sniffing around Freeman. And that's why he's got the extension, and that's where he is now. Brian Daboll, Shane.
No. Nope.
Well, I hope Pete learned from his mistake. He was firing Shane Waldron. He did fire.
Well, Waldron's biggest issue that he could never marry up the running game.
Right, he could never do it.
Yeah, former NFL quarterback Brock Heward talked about it on Waddle
Did
and
he?
Sylvie. And when the Bears were thinking about hiring Waldron, he's like, "Yeah, that's not the." He goes, he does Seattle games. He's like, "Yeah, that's not a move you're gonna want to make." Said that live on air.
Well, Waldron guy says, well, Vrabel brought in Tim Kelly.
Well, yeah, I mean,
He brought in Terry Shea.
Believe it or not, there's fuck ups no matter what coach you go to. That's the way that the NFL works. Like the NFL draft game, if you're batting 250, you're a fucking Hall of Famer in the draft. It's just the way that it is. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Again, it falls back. Falls back to me saying what I've said forever, Phil. With fans, it's you're either fucking awesome or you're fucking horrible. And 99% of the time, you're falling somewhere in the middle of that spectrum. But it's either you're amazing, you're an all-pro, or you're fucking horrible and you shouldn't be in the NFL. There's not a lot of that middle ground with people.
Do you have thoughts on Kevin Stefanski?
Very interested. I think he's a hell of a coach, and I think he's been fucked over in Cleveland. Ownership there essentially made the deal for Deshaun Watson and that monstrosity. He would be one of the leaders for me if he got launched in Cleveland. I think he's a hell of a coach.
I agree with you.
Launch, I would have no problem if I hate the fucking head. I hate him as a head coach. Who's the DC in Cleveland? He used to be the head coach of the
Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz. Love him. I love him as a DC because he's got that aggressive mentality. He was the DC in Philly when they won the Super Bowl.
Trying to get I got 2 Medler picks. It didn't. Hold on, Shane. Keep talking.
I don't know how to talk when you're on air with me.
All right, dropping it down onto the desktop.
We got a DC character that leads our franchise, right?
That's a good one. The Venom of Virginia. A story of a young lady growing up with a silver spoon in her mouth. There he is, the meddler.
Looks like he's ripping one off his vape right there, doesn't it? Does it not?
It looks like he's got a toothpick picking out a fucking piece of meat.
It looks like Vargas standing by the columns after the Bears game when we were all pissed off. It's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go tweet some shit from the TTNL account and rip on my vape a little bit.
They do look alike there. He'll be popping right back on right now.
Yeah.
Fuck you. The Meddler DC presents this fall the WE. The Meddler. A young boy grew up under the guides of Halas and the Charter franchise to do one thing. Fuck tickle anybody's fucking butt cheek here. The Meddler. He won't be tickling any butt cheeks.
He's here to tickle butt cheeks. Yeah.
He is here to tickle butt cheeks. George. Yes. What are you going to do with the coach? I'm not answering that. The Meddler. This fall.
Tell him how it is, Hoodie.
I want to say something before we get underway about the tape never lies. Okay, so I know that there's there's a billion podcasts and a lot of people talking about NFL and talking about the Bears. But let me just say that you really, if you are a viewer of Tape Never Lies, don't go anywhere else. Come right here. And the reason why is because Dr. Phil and the smartest man to ever live is going to tell you like it is. And so sometimes you'll go over here and I'll go over here and you'll hear this rhetoric over here and over there. Whittle it down. What I would say is ESPN Chicago, because I'll put myself over and I'll put ESPN 1000 over. But I think that we have to start whittling it down, man, because when you get these 10 or 15 sources, it muddles your mind on exactly what's truth and what's not. The Tape Never Lies network is about the truth.